Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel IT Technical Supports. So today I am explaining about what is the difference between ScratchArc and Sandbox. So first I am explaining about what is the ScratchArc and what are the limitations are there in ScratchArc. Then after that I am talking about difference between means what is the sandbox are there and what are the limitations are available in sandbox are. And so here we have created some text for you for explaining purpose. So first we are talking about uh, scratch arc. So here when we are talking about scratch arc is a source driven architecture. So this is the scratch arc is source driven architecture follow. So here scratch arc is a source driven and disposable deployment for Salesforce code and metadata, and the scratch arc are driven by the source. So here after that when we are talking about second point, so here these are not permanent means when we are creating scratch arc, so here having the some limitations. So we have some limited time for this scratch arc, then after that we can delete it, and this is not permanent. So when we are talking about third point, so here we have written they don't include any production data. So when we are creating the scratch arc, so here we are not getting any copy data from production. So this is the third point. When we are talking about fourth point, so you can have up to 25 active scratch arc. So here if you are creating scratch arc, so here you have limitations. You are not able to create more than 25 active scratch arc in DevHub. So this is the fourth point. And when we are talking about last point in scratch arc, so here temporary arcs and they have expiration date when it's get created. So when we are talking about scratch arc, so when we are creating the scratch arc, so it have some limitations means have the expiration dates. So here when we are talking about sandbox, and after that once we are complete both the two, so we are comparing scratch arc and sandbox as well as. So when we are talking about sandbox arc, so sandbox is a copy of production. So suppose that when we are creating the sandbox copy using our login.salesforce.com URL. So once we are logging our production arc, so here we are creating the new arc. Suppose that we want to partial copy create, so partial copy sandbox, so using production we can create it. So this is the our first point. So when we are talking about second point, so these are the permanent. Before that we have discussed scratch arc is not permanent, but sandbox is the permanent. When you are creating your developer arc using developer.salesforce.com, so after that, so here we are giving some idea about it how you can create. So here is the URL like developer.salesforce.com. So here you go to the this URL, and then after that having the link sign up. Once you click on sign up, so you are able to see this is the sign up for developer arc. So here you need to give the some data, and after that you need to enable that checkbox, and after that you are able to sign up. So this is the URL for creating the developer sandbox. So now we are talking about they they include production data. So when you are creating the copy from the production using production app, so all the data are available like in which are available in production. So these are already copied in our partial sandbox. So While creating the sandbox, you need to create one checkbox is there. So if you want to copy the data, so you can copy. And here one thing is there, if you are copying the data, so email all email id will be changed in user level. Suppose that if you are go to the setup, and after that my information is there, right? Once you go here, I am talking about this. So once you click on your name, my profile option is there, so you go there. Otherwise my setting option is there. So after that you go here, personal information is there. Personal information, once you click on, so here you have some information, right? So after that, based on that, your email id is invalid. Once you are means copy production data, so this will not sending any email, you need to update. So this is the difference which I am explaining in detail. So fourth point, sandbox are still critical. Why we need like sandbox and scratch arc? So sandbox, suppose that if you are performing any testing or anything else, so here problem is there, sandbox are still critical staging and performance testing issue. I- when we are means performing in sandbox, so it will impact. So but you can perform like testing or performance testing, anything you can do in scratcher, and after that you are able to delete it as well as it will not impact anything we are talking about. So here I have like 20, when we are talking about scratch arc having the limit 25 active scratch arc, but here we don't have any limit. Based on the edition it is allowable. And another point, last point, here in sandbox arc no any expiry date is there. Once you create, you are able to do, means using login your credential, you are perform anything. So here we are talking about now live. Because of that you need to understand how we can enable. So first here we are explaining, first you need to keep your minds like dev hub. You go to the setup first, we you need to click on the setup button. Then after that dev hub, you need to type here dev. Then after that option is the available dev hub, you click on that. So here what you are getting, you cannot enable dev hub in a developer edition or with a registered namespace. This is the means, if you are enable a namespace in your arg, so you are not able to enable dev hub. Here you can check namespace. So here name credential is there, right? So here having the like my url, this one you are able to see salesforce.com. So this is the my login, and here we have actually for integration purpose we have some perform testing. So this is the name credential. So I am explaining my second arc. This is the first arc where we have already enabled an namespace, but now we are coming here, our second arc my domain is there. So here for second arc we have already login. So here we click on like type dev hub. Here url, if you are able to see, this is the url is difference, and my first one url is the different. And here we are logging through another arc. So here you are able to see create and manage scratch arc from the command line, view information about your scratch arc, link namespace arcs. So here create and manage scratch arc from command line. Scratch arc are disposable Salesforce arc that are used to support development and testing. They are fully configurable, allowing developer to emulate different Salesforce edition with different feature and preferences. When we are talking about second point, view information about your scratch arc. So here have information include details about requested scratch arc, including whether they are active, expired or deleted. And third point is there, link namespaces. You can link namespaces or to DevHub for using scratch arc with namespace. So here if you want to create a scratch arc, so here you need to enable that one. You can't disable this setting. Once you enable DevHub, you are not able to disable it. So here we are enabling these features. So now it is enabled. If you are able to see, we are not able to disable it. We can't disable it once I am enable. So this is the means live practice of first you need to enable DevHub. After that you need to configure like this is the, you can note down this point for your like learning purpose, but here we are explaining live how you can create a scratch arc and all those things. So here we have written some like commands how to create project using command prompt. So this is the commands are available. This command we are giving in description as well. As first we are here open the Visual Studio Code. So first we are talking about how you can create, a scratch arc. So here we are proceeding with these steps. First, how to create project using command prompt. So first here having like a two, we can do by two way. First one is the like we can directly go here and here having first you need to install before starting this, you what are the requireds are there like in Lightning Web Components, what are the tools are required. So first we are talking about that. First you need to install Salesforce CLI. So here we are giving some explanation. Because of that we are directing if we are start directly, so you are not able to understand what are the configuration need for Lightning Web Component. So this is the first URL, Salesforce CLI download. You just need to type in your Google. So here having the option like Mac OS and Windows. So you can based on your requirement you can download and install. So here once you download this Salesforce CLI, so first you need to allow, once you are open that download means these applications like Salesforce CLI, so you can click on next, then you are able to install. Second one you required, once you install Salesforce CLI, so you need to install one things here like VS Code download. You just type and this is the first URL. So you are able to see here having the Windows tab and Mac. So if you are Windows user, so you can just click on that and based on your requirement download and install. Nothing is different. So this is the part. Now once you install, so you are able to see like that. So here before install these things you need Chulu JDK as well as for like if you are performing data loader and all those things, but for now these things are sufficient. So here having the some extensions are available. So here you need to like install Salesforce extension pack are available. So, this one is I am talking about this. So I am already installed Salesforce extension pack, but you click on here having the option install. Because of that I already installed in system, so now this is not available. So first this is required, then after that I am explaining. So using terminal you can directly here start new terminal, and after that here you are able to create based on that. Otherwise you can take any folder, directly you can press control shift p key. Then here you have option using panel SFDX create project with manifest. This is the simple project, but if you want to create Lightning, so just type here esfdx So here having the difference, like if you are typing in small, so it will not taking. So first we are closing all the tabs, then after that I am explaining. So first here I am coming in Explorer, so you need to type Control Shift P here. Because of that we are using like learning lightning. Here we have created some HTML files, so here we are open file existing folders our where we have already practiced. So we are open lightning app. So once we open folder, then after that lightning app I already created. So now we are switching in lightning app. So here you are able to see having these things. If here we are typing Control Shift P key, so here we are getting sure. Give me 1 second. So here we are already created, right? If we want to create new project, so here SFDX colon, create project with manifest option is already there. Otherwise type create. Create project with manifest option is there. So here first we are, this is the option you select. So you are able to see. So this is the command. When you are click, other commands also is there, if you are able to see. So here this is the SFDX colon create lightning web component. If you are click on that command, this is the command. If you are click on that, to result in error, because of that already open this one lightning dot this. But if you are creating new project, so this will be available. You need to click on SFDX this one, then after that you click on that command, then after that you are able to create it. This is the desired file name. Just you give the some file name which you want to create, suppose that lightning app. So then after that it will ask about alias, so you can give the some alias, like suppose that your arg name is there like that, login.salesforce.com. So here I mean, suppose that I this is the username, right? So here if we have two arg, so you can take alias, take data asys, or first asys is a alias. So here you need to give the alias as well as first. After that alias, but next you click means hit the enter, then project will be created. But now we are proceeding with terminal. So here we are giving the terminal, then after that here we are giving that command, this one. I am explaining one by one what is the process and how I can create the. So here having the command SFDX means Salesforce. This one is the force, means our force colon project directory is there and create command is there. Hyphen new means we want to create new, so here we have created the project name lwc project, and after that we are hitting enter. Now you are able to see it is created all the package, and if you are able to see, give me 1 second, I can drag and so this is the target d column lightning app folder is there. So here we are created these things, create lwc. So you are able to see here sfdx we have given the project name lwc project inside the column lightning app. So after that, here we need to suppose that we are created lightning app. So after that you need to next command is there for this one, like if you want to authenticate, so here this command is required for login purpose. So this is the command, means here sfdx force colon auth means authentication web dot login web browser and hyphen a alias name. Before that I am telling you means how you are able to give the alias name, like here we have username asis or take data asis, so you can take first one, then after that hit enter. Here we are given hyphen d for default purpose, we want to this is a default, so you are able to see it will redirect in and open your url and you can log in. Then after that once you log in it will ask about a allow option is there. Then here you need to enter username and password. We are now not entering anything, because of that we are proceeding with, because of the video is very large, we need to proceed further. So after that uh, we need go to the configuration file is there, right? So here config option is there, this one, and after that project is crash descender. So here you need to change, here setting is there, so here go here and hit enter and come and change this one, has sample data equal to true, because here we are enabling this one, because of that we want some sample data for scratch arc purpose, so that's the reason we are giving here. Is the problem anything mistakes? Okay, fine. So here we are giving, so here you need to remove semicolon, you need to give the comma, then after that control yes. So here we are proceeding with how to create scratch arc. So here we are having the command like that, sfdx force colon r colon create, then after that we are giving the namespace, and after that how many days, here 30, and after that we are pasting same this configuration, means project scratch dev.json, project scratch dev.json. So this is the command for creating the scratch arc. So you need to type that one. So Here we can do one thing also. Here we have given, actually command is working in background, so it will take some time. So here I am closing that URL. Actually it will taking more time, so we can see a complete process of this scratch art creation in next part. Because of that it will taking more time. So we have basic understanding, we have created project and authenticate that using a web browser, and after that we have login and we have changes in config file. So here how to create scratch art we are explaining in our second video. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe my channel, and we are uploading as soon as possible how to create a scratch art cartridge village, and complete deep dive in our scratch art creation and how we can proceed with lightning applications, all those things. So we are creating our next video. Thank you so much. Bye.